Right, now it's time for this week's guest, although it's guests this week, because we've got two, well, arguably three guests this week.
Okay, that's a little bit cryptic. In front of us, for those listening, two ruggedly handsome chaps in sports attire, looking very geeky, very engineering, very intelligent.
And exactly the same as when I last saw them about 10 years ago, which is weird. They are Grant and James Cooper, two very accomplished... Oh, what was that little noise you were... There we go. That's the one we wanted. Accomplished engineers who work with me, Jace, and that fearless daredevil, Otis Dealey. You might remember him for the best part of a decade, creating some of the finest Gadget Show builds and helping us win more than one of our Guinness World Records.
Yeah, which we used to collect, didn't we, on the Gadget Show? No, seriously, these two guys are the OG master engineers that made all of the crazy builds that we did that defined the show possible.
And can I just say... James and Grant, it's lovely to have you here. So we're having to share a mic like the cats on the internet sharing their food bowls. But also, they used to have to do everything in 5 minutes and for no money, basically, didn't you?
It was a great experience, but it's really nice to be sat here with you guys. I can't remember the last time we sat in the same room.
But the skill set that was required to make some of the memorable inventions, which we'll get to in a minute, that you guys made, was so diverse. I honestly think there was possibly no one else in England that we could have found to do what you guys did.
No, nobody else would have done it in the time frame you had, though, would they?
I think it's more, we were just flying from the seat of our pants, weren't we? Where you just say, build us a chainsaw-powered something. Can you?
That was a dragster, chainsaw-powered dragster you built for me. Santa Pod, yep.
Yeah.
Next.
How on earth do you do that? So then you look on the Google, quick, click. Okay, just go and buy some stuff, go and strap it together. And you kind of learn as you create. Cause nobody's ever done most of the stuff that we did with you guys. No. So it was a real... cool journey to learn.
Yes, and that's the thing, because you guys were kids at the time, weren't you? I mean, you do look exactly the same, bizarrely. I don't know how you do it.
A little grayer.
Well, maybe a little bit of salt and pepper in there. So it started with Satan's Mutt. Here it is. We've got it here.
Oh, my God, it's so much heavier than that.
It's titanium, so it's pretty sturdy. And do you want to explain what this challenge was? Because you had to build a robot, didn't you?
Yeah, so basically we built a... could you just push the mic over to me there?
Yeah.
They built a robot and they pretended it was me.
We didn't do anything.
Yeah, but for Otis and I, to go up against the best robots from Robot Wars in the UK and stage a competition.
Take him, man! Ever fight.
I mean, for these guys, we didn't know it then. This was a relatively rudimentary thing because it's incredibly powerful. Where did the power for its flipper come from?
So that was a pneumatic-powered hydraulic cylinder, almost like open a fire extinguisher into it and launches it high up. But classic Gadget Show style. We've been hassling you guys for coming up 2 years, I think, to do a Robot Wars type episode.
Yeah.
And eventually we got the call to say it was going ahead. But with a twist. This was, if you remember rightly, this was actually driven with a Nintendo Wii balance board.
That's right. A Nintendo. It was a Nintendo Wiimote and balance board controlled device.
That's
Am I
it,
right? Yeah, that's right. So we always had a twist on the Gadget Show, didn't we? Some high concept idea. Very beautiful.
I'm modelling it.
Beautifully done.
I'm doing it like, Sale of the Century style.
Yes!
And this week, you could win Satan's Mutt.
But the thing is, we had the best guys in the business because you'd had some success helping out on Robot Wars, entering Robot Wars, all the rest of it. But I know that you went on to win. You had some winning robots.
Yeah, well, we got a really good reputation back when we were in school building fighting robots back when Robot Wars was on. Then we got involved with you guys through Satan's Mutt. And that then led on through to us building larger 100-kilo heavyweight robots. And that came about...
You built the house robots, didn't you, for Robot Wars?
Yes, we did, yeah. So that was a dream job for us. It's like we watched Robot Wars growing up as children in school. That was all done by BBC's special effects in-house. And obviously that's disappeared over the years. And through working with you guys and other TV shows throughout the years, our reputation's built up that we were then headhunted for Robot Wars.
But didn't you buy the arena off the show?
No.
Okay.
So someone did buy that one and it got scrapped. It's a big area of contention in the Robot Wars world. But no, we helped develop the latest version.
I went on Robot Wars, on the Celebrity Robot Wars, about 100 years ago. With Dallas.
Campbell.
Yeah, I got Dallas to come in as my partner in crime, and James and Grant did my robot. But you had about 5 minutes to organise that as well, didn't you, I think?
As always.
I've always been awestruck by everything that you've ever done, and just sitting here listening, I'm just imagining sitting at home listening to this podcast, and people will be going, I love those two, they're so incredible. Take us through step by step pretty much what you did for the Gadget Show, and what were your kind of favourite works?
I think we could probably go through the injuries list first, Barbara.
We can all go through those.
Yeah,
So
apply that filter.
First project was Satan's Mutton. You
I
nearly
chopped
chopped
my
your finger off.
That was Jason hammering the flipper down. I've still got the scar.
Yeah, I remember that. That was on me. Fair enough.
We've done so much. I mean, some of my favourite are the world records. We did the electric jet-powered bike.
Oh my God.
That was Otis riding that. That was
Wild.
some scary moments. with
Ducted
the
fan, wasn't it?
Yes, that's
Ducted
it,
fan
yeah.
electric.
Can you believe Otis did that? Because he's so scared of
Yes.
things like that.
Wobbling. Oh man, I don't like that at all.
But he didn't have much choice.
No, that's true. He was
be
strapped
fair.
to it. So
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
72 miles per hour! I'm a record breaker, I can't believe it!
Then we did the chainsaw-powered dragster.
That was me, wasn't
Yep.
it?
Yourself and John Bentley, we've done two
Yeah,
versions
that
of
was
that.
terrifying because it's just as scary as it sounds. I mean, that was an open engine with what sort of RPM was that? It was insane.
Oh, I can't remember, but we were getting some serious power after we tuned them.
That's certainly top speed, I can't get any quicker.
Yes! A splendid top speed of 72.74 miles an hour. All our hard work really had finally paid off.
But far more dangerous than that one was the jet-powered luge that we did with Joel.
Yeah,
That's-
So for me, if anyone says to me, "What's the best thing you ever did on the Gadget Show?" with that question, it was breaking the world record for jet-powered luge. So effectively a skateboard, but you're on feet first, no brakes, just using my feet as brakes with not one but two jet engines. Am I right?
Yep. Yeah, there's two
kerosene tank for a headrest.
That crash from the last time we tried it really damaged my confidence, Well, this is it. I'm really scared, but there's a lot of people put a huge amount of effort into this, and I've got to do it for them. Roll backward, here we go, let's do it. Go!
The speed was like nothing I'd ever experienced before.
I'm survived! I'm not dead!
But to be fair, a lot of the things we've done, there's a big element of danger to them. Like the dragster, there's always an element of danger. But everything we do, we've got to know the risks. We've got to understand what
I know
can
that,
happen.
and we're having fun with the drama of it all.
Well, the
But I
thing
always felt safe. I love the adrenaline rush, but I trusted you guys.
As with everything exciting, really, in life, there is always an element of danger, which is why it's exciting.
progress,
'Cause you don't
baby.
know.
Well, this is why
Yeah.
people don't break those records every day. And I don't think many of them have been broken since.
Have any of them been broken, actually? I'm not sure. I
Only
don't
by
even
us,
know.
and we haven't done it officially.
Okay, well, that's good then.
I did 83 mile an hour on that bike.
Oh, my life.
Oh my God!
Talking of oh my God, one of these moments, this is one of my favourite moments of the Gadget Show, was the show where when I was AI.
Yes.
VR, Susie.
Yes,
From
that's right.
London. And I was sitting in the sofa and sliding down the sofa, and the technology was a nightmare.
They tried to replace you, didn't they, with an
Yeah.
augmented version, what would you call it, a holographic version of you?
It was hologram Susie. And a robot version of Jace. So who did we go to make Robo Jace? James and Grant, of course. And they've got it with them.
Oh my God!
So we've got it in the studio.
It
Yeah, it's.
him.
Oh, it's taken on a persona.
Suddenly he's all about the pronouns. Listen.
Please reveal Robot Jace.
So just bear in mind, he's been locked in a drawer for probably 10 years
haven't
now.
we
How
all,
I feel
darling?
about
But
that.
he's looking lovely.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
What's happened to him?
It's terrible, isn't it?
So we're looking at Robo Jace, and he looks a little bit like his face has melted somewhat.
Completely.
And it's sort of the mouth is kind of slumped. He's aged, not aged
Not
well.
not in a good way.
No, he hasn't.
It's melted.
He looks nothing like you anymore.
Oh, thank you. I'm so pleased. I thought you were going to say looks just like you, Jace. That's uncanny how they achieved that.
It looks bad. I mean...
He.
What do you mean,
Please, he's a he. It's a person.
No, it's not.
It's a real person.
It's not.
Look at... Oh, those eyes. They're piercing.
I glued that eye in last night.
That'll be why, then.
He looks more like a zombie.
Yeah, he does.
If you're listening and not watching, first of all, you have to go to YouTube and watch this.
Oh, my
Second of
God.
all, I cannot unsee that. That is terrifying. Is it just the latex that's sort of slumped?
sort of
And
just
you've
like
aged. It's what's
gradually.
happened.
It's gone all sticky.
Even Robo Jace has aged.
I think the horrible thing is he looks better than me.
He doesn't.
Look at him. Oh, my gosh. And, of course, one of my abiding memories of that is taking Robo Jace to the Cannes Film Festival and having him having him on the red carpet. And you know Gillian Anderson, the actress?
Oh, yeah.
And I mean this sincerely, she arrived...
She wears a good shirt.
She wears a good shirt.
Yeah.
She arrived at Cannes expecting to get out of her limo and be received with love. And, of course, the paparazzi... You know, I guess if you're a paparazzi, you've seen one celeb, you've seen them all, but you've not seen a robot. So the robot came out onto the red carpet. They went absolutely crazy. And I was behind the scenes with a headset, and I was doing my kind of best franglais, and Robo Jace, and they were loving it. They were taking lots of pictures of him.
And the great thing was, because it was all live, it was all real, as with all the builds that we've done for you. Nothing was faked for TV. Nothing was kind of bodged together for it. It was all actual stuff that you saw on the telly was real technology.
I'm really
working.
pleased you said that, because it's true, and it's a credit to the boys, isn't it, that you made those things work. And I remember often we'd have to stop filming and you'd be adjusting things and quickly programming something, and we'd wait, and it was all about doing it for real, because it was all the builds we did were authentic. And
Yeah,
it was down to you that was the case.
That's a rare thing for a TV show. We're very grateful for that, for being able to do things and learn everything we've learned along the way. But the amount of things we've done since where they're like, well, as long as it looks like it works, that's fine. And it's great to see a show working with you guys that say, like, no, if we're doing it, this has to work. This has to be real.
No, I'm really excited about what you're working on now, because it literally is a planet saver, isn't it?
Absolutely. We've been working with a company called Pulpex since the start of COVID, really, on trying to develop the world's first fully sustainable, recyclable, compostable paper bottle.
So I've got in my hand, Jason and I both got one in our hand. It feels beautiful.
Really
it's a
tactile.
as you've just said, it's a bottle, and it's made out of pulp,
Wood and paper pulp.
right? And what's it coated in then?
So the coatings vary. That will vary depending on the end products and things, but the plan is that all the coatings will be compostable and recyclable. There won't be like some other bottles on the market where they've got like a plastic bag or a sleeve inside. You don't shouldn't need to separate them.
So the coating's on the inside.
And
On the outside, it's very papery, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And so this will negate the use for single-use plastic.
That's the whole idea, really. It's you see so many TV shows and stories, and most people don't get out, but you just have to go down the beach and see how much. It's not even in physical bottle form; it's in like the microplastics.
So I was there on Sunday doing a beach clean-up at Watergate Bay in Cornwall, and there was about, probably about 50 kids or something, and it's astonishing. Almost the size of grains of sand, the particles that we're picking up now. You can almost we had sieves. You sieve the sand, and these bright-coloured plastic, tiny balls and fragments come out. It's extraordinary.
And it's in all the animals and everything. It's horrendous, isn't it, where we are at the
We
moment.
need to do something about it.
Well, that's what you're doing, isn't it? I mean, this is what this hopefully will do. And what sort of scale are you hoping for?
So the idea is obviously we're working with the team at Pulpex on this. They've got a huge team of people working on sort of the chemistry for the coatings and making sure that they work. They're two very different things, and proving that the actual concept of a paper bottle works. And we're then working with them to actually make this scalable. So to make it manufacturable, to make it scalable. And the R&D side's all done, and these bottles, as you can see, are coming out really nicely.
So you made these?
So these are made on the machines that we've produced. The
Incredible.
machines are tooling.
And the plastic
everything
top is only a stage
Temporary.
one.
Yes,
element.
yeah. So as with everything, there's stages to it, and the first stage is actually getting the bottle, as you can see in your hands, and workable, and paper lids and the threads and things and all that on the bottles. That is all in progress, but these things do take time.
And And would you be able to manufacture it as well? Or is that's obviously a completely different part of this industry? But
I can't remember the exact figures, but I think Pulpex were talking about creating, say, 75 million bottles a year, and that sounds massive. But that is such a tiny percentage of almost like the daily amount of plastic bottles made every day. It's just scratching the surface. So we could never manufacture enough of these in-house. We're only a small company. We are heavily on the development side of things and helping to manufacture the machines to make these. But actually manufacturing these bottles, we could never do, and no one company could ever do. The problem of plastic is huge.
It's so massive. But as consumers, I think a lot of people, I'm guessing most people listening to this podcast want an alternative. There's a certain element of guilt, isn't there, associated with grabbing something in a plastic bottle, but we just don't have the offerings. We don't have the choice.
Yeah, if you saw this on a shelf in a shop, you would love to pick that up. It's it is beautiful, isn't it? What you've created is gorgeous.
It's been exciting because we've worked with Pulpex from the very early stages of figuring out how to kind of mulch the pulp and kind of try and get it to come into a bottle form. So it's been really nice to kind of start in those small scale stages in R&D development to now seeing almost like an automated line where you put pulp in at the beginning and you're starting to see bottles coming out the end, and that's been really exciting process for us.
And it must be exciting for the types of companies that are using plastic bottles and cans and things like, I don't know, just big conglomerates like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, whatever, and alcohol companies. They surely want to get into this, don't they?
Yeah, I can't talk about, obviously, investment side and what people are doing it for. We're not the companies that are buying them. But, we're just on a very small scale, and looking at this sort of thing, you walk around and you see, even if this was 100% recyclable like a lot of bottles are, the recyclability, I personally don't think is a problem. If the whole of the UK recycled everything they did, it would be such a small amount of the problem solved. You can go to India or America or China or anywhere. There's so many polluting places in the world that you need to not rely on humans. And for me, being able to put it in a compost heap or in the ground is the answer. You can have all the recyclability you want, but having it so that you don't have to rely on humans to fix the world is
the resources.
Is the issue, I think.
The fossil fuels that get consumed when you recycle, it doesn't recycle itself. It takes energy.
The big thing is just making sure that then what you're making it out of is sustainable, that you're not cutting down rainforests. It's all sustainably grown and sourced trees. We've seen the roadmap for what Pulpex are trying to achieve with this, and not just in the manufacture of the bottle, but in the transport and everything. And it's the whole thing builds up a big picture of
the whole ecosystem.
A better world.
Yeah.
It sounds really boring. You talk to people and say, well, you're helping develop paper bottles, but the process and the learning curves and everything that go into this on something that could change the world is really, really nice to be involved with.
James and Grant for president.
I agree. I think it's very, very, very exciting. And you put the product in people's hands, that's when you really get the point. It's a beautiful thing. Well done.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I think it's very similar to...
Premature round of applause.
Sorry.
To the Gadget Show stuff, like Grant was saying, it's paper bottles, but we're excited by it because you see the opportunities, and that was exactly the same as how we felt about working with you guys on the Gadget Shows, that you're tasked with a challenge, and it's just the excitement that gets you through the challenge, and it's always amazing to see what comes out of it and be able to look back on it and with a lot of pride. Then
great, like that, great outcomes like Robo Jase.
You've got probably the most beautiful bottle I've ever seen in my life, and possibly the most ugliest robot I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
all from the same hands.
That makes me feel slightly strange, but I know what you mean.
Yeah. James, Grant, it's been so fantastic having you here, enlightening as well about the future. Thank you for sharing all your thoughts.
Thanks, guys.
And your memories of the Gadget Show. We've loved it. It's been great.
Thanks to Zombie Jace as well.
Thank you for having us.